it's Melody with Design by Melody here today. I have a layout to share with you, though I really have no plans for this layout other than the supplies that I have gathered. I have a basket here full of things. I have a lot of stamps and alphas here pulled out. And then I have these 3 papers. So I'm really not sure what direction we're going to go with this, so we'll kind of create together, I suppose. So I have these 2 photos. They're not good quality at all, honestly. They're of the little train at the mall here locally, and that's one of Kaylin's favorite things to do is to go ride on this train. So I have pictures of him, Ernest, and Kaylin in the train, but this is with an old phone, and it's just very grainy, and they are moving at the time too, so it's kind of blurry, especially this one. So I'm going to work with them because I definitely want to document this. Just not working with the best quality photos makes it a little bit more difficult, especially since they're a little bit darker here and I am using brighter colors. So this first paper is from Studio Calico. It's Travel Journal, and I'm actually going to use the B side of this. I have just a white piece of cardstock here. Then I have this really pretty aqua paper, and it is from Studio Calico as well, and it's called Hello World. We're going to use this side. And I like this side because it has blue, like the teal with pops of white. So my first thought was to take this and mat it, and then put these on here. However, I'm not really sure. I really don't know which way we're going to do this. I almost want to have, this is probably what I'll do. I almost want to have it like this, to where they're separate. I don't want them in a line because they're different focal points. This is the train and this is them inside the train. So what I may do is this, mount each one and have one sit up a little bit higher. So let me actually trim down these photos first. And because they're not going to be right on top of each other, or right beside each other rather, they don't have to be the same size. Alright, so here are the photos. I'm going to have them layered a little bit like that, I believe. Okay, I like that. So now I'm going to trim down this blue paper since it's going to be matted on the white. Alright, so what I did is I took a 1/2 inch off either side, but instead of doing an actual 1/2 inch off of one side and a 1/2 inch off another, I cut a 1/4 inch off of each of the sides to make sure that the circles were kind of intersected the same way. It's just a small detail, but it's something that I like to pay attention to. That's how it's looking. And I do want to pull in this paper. I'm going to have this one mounted on here. Alright, there's a motorcycle outside if you hear it, that's what that is. When I'm trimming, when I'm using paper like this, I try to keep these papers as intact as possible or keep them in large chunks. So this one's going to go here. And actually, I'm going to mount this one on white cardstock. So I'm actually just going to take it right out of the center of this back piece so I don't have to cut into another piece of cardstock, since you're not going to see the center of this anyways. So I just took a chunk out of the middle. I'm just going to mount this right on there. I like to use photo mats, especially when the photos aren't the best, because I feel like it adds a little bit more definition to them. Alright, so we have our 2 photos here, and we have our background paper. I'm going to go ahead and adhere our background paper down. And since I do have a chunk missing out of the middle, I'm just going to keep the adhesive to the edges. So this is what the back looks like. Kind of crazy looking, I know, but it works. So We have this photo that's going to go here, and we have this photo that's going to go here, and this one's going to be on pop dots. This one will be adhered straight down. Now another thing I want to do, I do have some journaling that I want to add. It's going to be on this card, I believe, that says Good Times. Actually, I don't really like that harsh red. Let's see if I can find a pink one. I have to find one, or make my own, which may be a possibility. But I do have these little crepe paper fringe things from Studio Calico. I'm going to see about using one of them. I'm really not sure how it's going to look, but I am going to try it because I'm all about trying things today. This is very interesting. I'm really not sure. So this is what it looks like. You know what? I may actually make somewhat of a banner up here in the corner with this. Something like that. And then maybe come back down again. That might be interesting. Actually, I kind of like that. I'm going to go ahead and adhere it down before I change my mind. And that might sound silly, but it's kind of the truth. If I don't do it now, I'll overthink it and then it may not happen. I'm just going to adhere that to the back so it doesn't move. Oops. If you're a little worried about things moving, you can just adhere this down, which, all right. Alright, and I actually went through some more journaling cards, and I found these Hello Summer 3x4 journaling and accent cards from Echo Park, and I actually pulled out two different ones here. Either one would match perfectly fine, but I actually think I'm going to use this one and put this little heart over it and kind of cut it off and do my journaling here and maybe make it a hidden pocket. So that's where this one stands right now. So as you can see, Caitlin has a sucker in his mouth. That's one of the joys of going on this train, is that you always get a sucker before you leave. So that's one reason why he likes to go on this train, I think. I don't know that it really has anything to do, well, I do know he loves the train, but I think he loves the sucker part of it too. So that's actually going to be what we're going to put on part of this layout as well. So I was going to do another banner up here, but I'm actually thinking maybe I'll just kind of make a little bit of one down here at the bottom to kind of have a continuation, but without putting so much weight up here. And so the title of this is going to be Traintastic. I was going to put Every Day is a Fun Day, but I actually like Traintastic, and that's actually fun. If you have kids and you're familiar with the Chuggington show, then you know exactly what I'm referencing. We're going to put it right up here at the top. And let me actually go ahead and adhere this banner first. So that will be down. There we go. And I'm going to kind of trim off these excess pieces. Okay. Alright, there we go. Going to adhere these photos down, and then we'll work from there. I've got all those off, and I'm just going to layer it. That's good enough. So there we go. So I'm going to see if I can put the title up here, and I'm going to put it at the very top. Alright, so I have my title here on my ruler. And I thought I was going to put it up here, but I feel like it just kind of floats up here. So at least if it's at the bottom, or I could put it right in here. No, I think I'm going to put it at the bottom. There you go. And these are the jelly bean soup, alpha beans, and blueberry teal. And I am going to add this little pink sucker down here. And because I've set this up the way I have, I am going to add this journaling card on the back. It'll be a hidden pocket on the back. Actually, probably will add it on this side. So I will add that pocket on the back before the end. Now I have a lot of different things that I could add. I pulled out this little thing, which I think is the cutest. It says slow down, which will work. I pulled out another one that says go. I pulled out some different things. I have some mason jars. I have some tickets, which go with the theme. I have this little Polaroid with the hearts in it, which I think is so cute as well. I have all these little vellum hearts that I pulled out. I pulled out a little pink camera, some tags, some flair, some sequins, which I pulled out some yellow because I thought it might be interesting to have a pop of yellow here. Alright, so there's a lot of things here, and then I also have a stamp set, which this is by Studio G. It's got these little trains, and it says all aboard for fun. So what I'm going to do is stamp these little trains, and I'm actually going to do it in gray. Okay, and when you're not sure where you're going to put it on the layout, it's kind of nice to be able to just put it down and move it around and see. So I know that sucker's going to actually go down there. So I'm thinking about putting it up here. I'll probably do another little car right there. And put the all aboard for fun right down there. So let's go ahead and stamp those. It's relatively subtle, but I really like the way it looks. And it says all aboard for fun there at the bottom. I have these little tickets I'm going to tuck in over here. They're going to be a very, very subtle. It's kind of a tone-on-tone effect over here. I'm going to tuck them in right here. Then we're going to put this little go die cut over top of it. Just pay attention to the words that are on it. say go. It's going to go right there. And I feel like we need a pop of pink elsewhere. We have this pink and we have that pink. Trim this down and add this down here. I actually have this little tiny heart punch. It's from Recollections. So I'm going to take a piece of this scrap paper here and just punch out a few of these hearts. And this will bring a bit of that pink in. I'm just going to have one pink sequence around each of these as well. And also one of these enamel dots. So let's get this adhered down. When I got this lollipop a couple months ago, I had absolutely no clue what I was going to do with it. But it actually fits with this layout because that's what part of the story is about. Alright, and I'm actually going to add another stamp. I'm going to add the little caboose going off the bottom here. Here we go. Alright. Almost done here. Kind of a simple layout, but I was having a difficult time using these photos, and I have been looking through a lot of my scrapbooks recently, and I've noticed that some of them are a little bit more busy, I guess, than what I actually prefer. So I thought I would try to tone it down just a tad and, you know, use some simple techniques here, but also making sure to include things like stamping that I don't always do. Alright, there we go, and like I said, this journaling card will be added. Go ahead and adhere this. That's just to cover up that little bird. So this journaling card will be added to the back side, probably right there. And I'm going to actually add this little heart. This is the last one that I had punched that I didn't use, so I'm going to use it right here, like that. And that'll be added right back here behind the card, behind the page. Alright, there we go guys. Thanks for joining me today. Let me know if you have any questions. If you like this video, please like it and hit the subscribe button. Also, go to my blog at www.designbymelody.com to see all the supplies I used as well as other photos. Thank you!